Maybe Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are not the two greatest players in the history of football. Wait, don't go away just yet. There are some people that are of the opinion that there are some football players that would have had exceptional careers if their career wasn't hampered by various injuries. And today, we're going to be looking at 5 players that fall under this category. Starting at number 5, we have Mario Gotze. Mario Gotze burst onto the scene when he scored the extra time winner in the 2014 World Cup final against Argentina. Reports suggest that he was told by Germany manager Joachim Löw to show that he was better than Messi just before coming on, and well, he did just that. 4 years later, the former golden kid of Die Mannschaft is battling to save his career since taking home Germany's top youth football award, the Fritz Walter Medal, in 2009 and 2010. The player has been heralded as his nation's Lionel Messi. Like the Argentinian, he was able to dribble quickly and maneuver in small spaces, and his ball control was amazing. One of the reasons he left Dortmund for Bayern, because of Pep Guardiola, Messi's coach, was set to take over at the Allianz Arena. Guardiola appeared to be overjoyed to have a player in place who was obviously suited to his intricate style of play and who could possibly play the false 9 position. But these plans were soon cut off as a result of several injuries. At the age of 19, he suffered the first of many protracted absences when he was forced to miss nearly 3 months of play due to pelvic inflammation, an overuse condition that players fear since it takes so long to recover. He tore a thigh muscle the following season while playing for Dortmund against Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. People questioned whether the injury's timing may have cost his team the cup. That occurred as a result of the fact that Gotze hobbled off the pitch at the Bernabeu precisely 1 week after a tabloid first reported on his planned transfer to Bayern. Pundit Lothar Matthaus claimed the young playmaker's injury was psychological and stress-related because he had suddenly found himself at the center of a media frenzy and abuse from supporters. BVB released a press release that was notably unique in February 2017. It explained that a metabolism condition that was not only uncommon but also difficult to diagnose had been identified as the cause of Gotze's recurrent muscle injuries. The announcement also stated that the player would be sidelined indefinitely, but it was unclear exactly what the issue was. Later press articles highlighted a condition termed metabolic myopathy, and it would also explain why Gotze seemed to have trouble losing weight while exercising more than most team members. Gotze was later referred to as the best young player he had ever managed by the current Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp. Number 4. Santi Carzola. Along with Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta, and David Silva, Carzola is unquestionably a part of the group of Spanish players who revolutionized the game. They are the crazy little ones that have demonstrated how a game can be dominated by a small, skilled midfielder due to their close control and passing prowess. They've shown us that you do not need to be big to be able to impose yourself in the game. Carzola's nightmare with injuries began in 2013 when he fractured a bone in his ankle while playing in a friendly game for Spain. When he got back to London, Arsenal conducted tests and informed him not to be concerned. He played with the discomfort of the niggling injury for the next few years until it became intolerable one night during a match between Arsenal and Ludogorets Razgrad in the UEFA Champions League at the Emirates Stadium. Just before the hour, he was replaced. That night, he cried out in agony as he was carried out of the field. In order to repair the broken ankle, he underwent surgery in Sweden in December 2016. However, Carzola's physiotherapist Juan Carlos Herranz claims that the procedure left him with an infection that complicated his recovery. More operations followed as his body continued to disappoint him. His wounds continued becoming worse. In the middle of the night, yellow pus would leak from his stitched ankle. Carzola's medical staff advised him to dismiss any ideas of returning to football. The best he could hope for was a game with his 2 children, Enzo and India, in the yard. He went to Spain and met with Dr. Miquel Sanchez, a renowned surgeon whose procedures in the Basque city of Vitoria have restored the health of professional athletes like Rafael Nadal and Andres Iniesta. But Sanchez had never seen a case like Carzola's before. He prodded his leg around. His right foot's Achilles tendon at the back was infected all around. 8 to 10 centimeters of the Achilles tendon had been eaten by 3 bacterial bugs. The bone had also been affected by the illness, and he was at risk of completely losing a leg. However, thanks to this doctor and a series of operations, he was eventually patched up and he started his road to recovery. He was out for more than 2 years, but he eventually came back in what was a very beautiful story. Number 3. Philippe Coutinho. Following his stunning performances, tearing up the Premier League every single week, Coutinho was destined to receive a call from Barcelona. But after he realized the transfer in January 2018, his good fortune ran out. The Brazilian struggled with injuries since joining La Blaugrana, which affected his performance, and he began to look like a shadow of the €105 million player they signed from Liverpool. He's had a total of 8 injuries since his big money move to Barca in 2018, and these injuries have kept him out for a total of 393 days, missing 60 games in that time. The worst of those injuries was when he ruptured his outer meniscus in 2020. He was out for 220 games. He had to undergo a surgery and then had several months of recovery before he came back to the pitch. However, just a few days after being back, he had some fitness issues and had to stay out for another 17 days. He was eventually loaned out to Aston Villa in the Premier League. We can say that Philippe Coutinho is returning back to his best in the Premier League, but imagine what would have been if he wasn't injured all those times at Barcelona. Number 2. Alexandre Pato. It is astounding that a player who has been in the news since 2007 is only just 32 years old, an age when most players enter their peak. Sadly, Alexandre Pato has been plagued by lots of injuries. Pato joined AC Milan in 2007 and had a quick impact. In his first season, he scored 9 goals in 20 games. The next year, he scored 18 goals in 42 games, earning him the Golden Boy and Serie A Young Footballer of the Year awards. With his speed and instinctive movement as a striker, Pato was similar to Michael Owen. He quickly won the title after guiding Milan to the top with 14 goals in 25 games and finishing the season as their joint top scorer. Pato was still only 21 years old after all this. You can only imagine the buzz that surrounded him and the achievable possibilities. The following season, he only made 11 league appearances with just 1 goal, so things didn't get much better. The next season, he only made 4 appearances before leaving Milan to join Corinthians in Brazil. The forward has since moved about, spending time with Sao Paulo in Brazil, Chelsea for a brief while in England, China, and returning to Brazil before deciding to end his contract. And finally, number 1 on the list is Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere, who was only 19 years old, gave Arsenal's 2-1 victory over Barcelona an all-time outstanding performance. The Englishman bossed the game at the Emirates and outperformed players like Xavi and Andres Iniesta, 2 of that generation's best midfielders. Arsenal and England were looking at a future star and leader for club and country. At age 20, Wilshere was chosen for the 2010-2011 PFA Team of the Year and won the PFA Young Player of the Year award. Prior to the 2011 and 2012 season, Wilshere suffered a stress fracture ankle injury, which marked the start of a career-long cycle of severe ankle ailments. While Wilshere did play 25 and 24 league games in the 2012 to 2013 and 2013 to 2014 seasons respectively, injuries prevented him from ever having a long streak of games to shine, and consistency was always a problem. Wilshere had played 49 games in all competitions in the 2010 to 2011 season, but he completely missed the 2011 to 2012 season. At age 29, Wilshere signed a permanent contract with Bournemouth after spending more than 5 months as a free agent. Wilshere is currently playing for the Aarhus Gymnastic Forening in the Danish Superliga. Wilshere is among the best players England has ever produced, based purely on talent, and if it weren't for injury, he might have been a generational talent.